What do I not let my husband do? Let's get into it. Even as a wife, you should have things that you don't let your husband do, and you should have some boundaries in all of your relationships. But before we continue, please like this video. Please also subscribe to my channel, and then let's get into it. Number one is sleep on the couch. If we ever get into a disagreement, we do not separate, and we try to not go to bed angry or disgruntled. I think it's much healthier to go to bed on the same page and to be able to sleep. Obviously, if you and your spouse are fighting and your spouse decides, or you decide to spend the night on the couch, that's kind of sending a message that the other person is so disturbing that you don't want to even be in the same bed as them, which is pretty hurtful. So we try to lovingly sort through our conflicts when we have them, if we have them, and we really don't have that many to even begin with. So thankfully, we don't have to want to sleep on the couch much, but it is something obviously that a lot of people in marriages do if one person's upset. And a lot of the times the wife also will send her husband to sleep on the couch as punishment, and I feel like that's kind of mean. Number two, I have all of Ethan's passwords and he has all of mine. I do not let him have, obviously, like a secret second phone that I don't know the password to. There's just no reason for people who are married to keep passwords from each other. Like if I want to use his phone to look something up, then I shouldn't have to ask him what the password is. And a lot of couples even will save the other person's fingerprint in their phone. We definitely know each other's passwords, and if we needed to get on each other's devices, we could. Not that we're going and looking through it or anything, but it's nice knowing that you are completely transparent with your partner, especially with technology. We'll get to talking about that a little later. This is really hard for me to do. Is this really hard for anyone else to do? Number three, we always keep our location on. It's kind of like a safety thing. I want to make sure if he's on his way home and it's taking longer than usual, that he's not like on the side of the road somewhere. It's not really something that you would anticipate, but in case there was an instance where you were separated from some sort of, I don't know, accident, if you had your phone, you could easily locate the other person. So it sounds like, ooh, I need to make sure he's not with other women, but it's actually just a safety thing. If our phones go through updates, we make sure that our locations are still working. Number four, I don't let Ethan go out late at night, especially like drinking. Like, it's not like he has a curfew and he has to be home, but out of respect for me, I want him to be home before I go to bed, realistically. And I go to bed at like 10, so I feel like that's pretty generous. We don't really go out with other people late at night, but I know a lot of people, their spouses will go and drink with some friends or go to a bar with some friends, and just, again, a safety thing. I want to make sure he's home before I go to bed so I don't like wake up and I'm like, where is he, and freak out. A lot of things can happen, so just be safe and make sure your husbands are coming home at night. I don't feel like there's really a lot of reason when you're married for you or your spouse to be out past 11. And if we go out, we usually go out together. So number five, I want to know everyone's thoughts on this. We did not keep in touch with our ex. We just feel like it's kind of healthy that way. And I don't know. I don't find a lot of value in being in contact with people that I do not really want to be in contact with. But I also just feel like that is a very obvious sign that your spouse is fully committed to you and doesn't have any second thoughts about anyone else. It's a good way to show that you love your spouse, and it's a good way to build trust. It's not like he's not allowed to be a Facebook friend with someone or something like that. We just like it that way. Number six, having girlfriends. I don't really like the idea of him hanging out with girls. He also doesn't like the idea. It just comes across like kind of weird to me. I know a lot of relationships, the guy has girlfriends that he was friends with before maybe he met his spouse, and he wants to be friends with them after. That's totally fine. But if you're like going to see a movie with your girlfriends and it is 9 p.m., that's when I'm like, I don't think you're fooling anyone here. So not that this has really been an issue either, but if he wanted to like be one-on-one friends with another girl, I would have a few questions. Ethan is so careful with my feelings, and I know he wouldn't do something like that. There's no man I would rather hang out with than Ethan. It's not like, oh no, you can't talk to anyone of the opposite gender. That's silly. More in like the more intimate settings, outside of work, one-on-one, all of that. Number 7. Ethan generally doesn't have social media. This is a little bit more controversial. I would be fine with him having it, but there are issues that arise from certain social media platforms, such as Instagram. In the summer especially, there's a lot of like beachy booty cheeks out, like girls, bikini pictures. A lot of my friends post pictures like that, so I totally understand how that could get in your feed. But just to keep things very pleasant and not weird, we like to not be on social media where we could have some lust and things happening. So we're just gonna say that we don't really use social media a lot. We do use Facebook. Ethan uses Facebook, and that's totally chill with me. It's a little bit of a discernment issue, and it's something that's gonna be different from couple to couple, but that's what we do, and we both really like it that way. Number 8, I do not let my husband watch porn. I know a lot of people think that porn is totally harmless, and women that have this opinion about it being negative for relationships are somehow like tyrants, but there's been literally studies done that excessive use of porn is very bad for your health, and it can literally change the way your brain is. It lets men objectify women. We are Christians, so we hold the belief that lust is not good. One rule that we have that is just kind of across all counts is if we want to do something sexual, it has to involve us, not other people. I'm not allowed to go off and do things by myself. He's not allowed to go off and do things. Whatever capacity, whatever you can think of comes to your brain when I say that. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. So porn and beyond is like a no-no in our relationship. And I have talked about masturbation before in my channel, so please make sure to check out my videos on that. I also don't let Ethan go to strip clubs. I guess I should just say that, because that may be a question. If I don't let him watch porn, does that mean he can go and do things in person? No. Number 9, with this like this. I do not let Ethan buy me lingerie anywhere except for a few approved websites. And I will share those with you. I wish they would sponsor me, but they probably won't because I'm so small. I'm just more comfortable knowing that if Ethan buys me lingerie, it's not because he saw someone else looking really good in it. The websites that I let him shop for lingerie for me on are strictly model-less lingerie companies. I just do that for myself too, because sometimes I look at these women modeling the swimsuits or whatever they are, and I'm like, wow, I wish I looked like this. We avoid looking at hot babes in general, both of us. Number 10, I don't let my Ethan go to bed hungry, sad, lonely, horny. I just feel like part of my mission in life is to make Ethan the happiest person in the world, so why would I let him go to bed feeling empty on any front? And I just love taking care of him. This is something we both really bring to our relationship, is we are super 100% invested in each other, try to prioritize the other person's wants and needs before our own. And that's really what love is according to the Bible. Love is sacrificial, and it does not seek its own pleasure. God has made us one person, so we really just need to act like it. So those are 10 things I do not let Ethan do. Please like and subscribe, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think of my strict warden rules, and maybe if you have your own to add to the list, or maybe questions you might have about any of them, because I'm pretty good at responding to comments here. I really appreciate you watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!